Testing. Here we are. Here we go. Another one.
Maybe I should have put my hoodie on. With this hoodie weather. Welcome back.
Welcome back to the 5K podcast, where we help you through the marathon of life.
Ooh.
And I got something on my mind.
What is on your mind?
I'd like to know, and it's also in light of recent events, but also because we watched that Hulu show, Unprisoned, which was really good, by the way. Shout out to Kerry Washington. Hey, girl, Connie.
What's the old school's name in there?
I don't know.
Old school off of Crooklyn.
Yeah, old school cat off of Crooklyn. He was in that too.
I don't remember his name, but he be in everything. He like Sam Jackson, old cat.
Yeah.
No, what were you gonna say? Sorry.
But here we go again. No, but it was just like, it made me think even more after watching the show, and then in light of things that have been going on with me as far as my growth journey that I'm on and setting boundaries, is that sometimes when you set boundaries with people, they seem to get mad that you set a boundary, or like they don't like it, but then it's like, I'm doing this for me, so why you got a problem with it?
Because you were one way for such and such amount of years. You've known the person since 15. I don't know. Pick a number. You've known a person for a while. And now you're all of a sudden like, you know what? I never liked your shit. Especially when we got to 22, 23. But now I'm just not going to take it anymore.
Well, yeah, like I wouldn't say, I mean, I can honestly say like, this has been like a long time coming. One of my friends says like, when I started setting boundaries with her, or just telling her how I was feeling more, and being honest with how I was feeling my thoughts, she was just like, well, yeah, you're always like, you're too nice, you're too this, you're too that. And it's like, it's in my nature to be nice. And I've never, wanted to be like, I don't want to take your shit. But it's like, as you get older, you just don't have the energy and the bandwidth for other people's shit. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
I don't mind the camaraderie and the talking and like, I love you as a friend and all that stuff. But it's like, we all have lives separate from each other now. And before, we were in high school or college or whatever, or even middle school. And it's like, our lives revolved around each other, because at home it was just, oh, well, you're not really, trying to feel what your parents are saying. You don't want to hang out with your parents. So the people you hang out with were your friends. And that's who your day-to-day lives revolved around. Also, you were in school every day with them. But then it's like, you get to be an adult, and it's like, you have your own family and your own household and your own life, and you get busier also because of work on top of that. So it's like, I just don't have the energy to deal with other people's bullshit. And so I'm starting to be vocal about setting boundaries. And even with, you set boundaries with everyone, like parents, kids, spouses. But I think more so it's harder when, you don't live with the person to set a boundary, because at least, with my husband, I can talk to him about why I'm setting, and we could work through it. But when you don't live with the person, you only see them occasionally, it's like setting a boundary is harder, because you tend to revert back and regress back to how you were when you met that person. Like I still regress back to the 16-year-old girl who, met my friend in high school type of thing.
Yeah.
So I think it's been a hard journey, but I feel like I'm navigating it pretty well, and the people that are supportive of it, I really do love and thank them. But I just find it funny that as I've been starting to set boundaries, I feel like people have been kind of distancing themselves.
Like who? Or can you say?
just like the kind of like not, shying away from like face-to-face encounters,
Oh.
It's just like, why? You know, and even at work, it's like I'm setting boundaries at work too with people where it's like I'm not taking people's shit, or I'm just a little more vocal about, okay, this is this and this is, this is what I know how to do and this is what I don't know how to do. And some people will be like, oh, they'll say okay to my face, but then behind my back, they'll like go to my supervisor and be like, well, I just don't feel confident in this. It's just like, no, I'm just legit telling you, this is what I'm capable of, and this is what I know, and this is what I don't know. And you don't like that because you expected me to just take all your shit and then, and then pretend that I know what I'm doing. But how does that benefit me? Because then I'm scrambling.
Oh, is that supposed to be that whole fake it till you make it comment?
Yeah, like, I'm not going to fake it till I make it anymore.
That I actually hate. Like, I've never subscribed to that.
Man.
Even when I was told to do that in my 20s, you need to fake it till you make it. No. Now, I'm not that person that, oh no, I gotta keep it real. I'm not that person, but I'm not about to sit up here on a job and fake something just to pretend that I know that.
Right.
No.
Like, I feel like there are certain instances where it is beneficial. Like, I mean, fake it till you make it. A lot of people fake it till you make it on social media. But it's like, if you're running a business, and you're like maybe putting out pictures that maybe you took like 5 years ago, and you're pretending like, oh yeah, I just had a install, or just had a client yesterday, but it's like a picture or a video from like years ago that people probably don't remember, or you never put out in the first place. And so you're kind of faking like you had something going on, or you had this client, but the client wasn't at that time. Like, to me, in that instance, yeah, you're faking it till you make it to attract and show what you can do. So you're kind of like faking till you make it to show off. Like, you have the skill set, you have the track record. That's different.
It's the real time stuff that.
Yeah, it's just like, but it's like the real time. Like, I'm not gonna pretend that I know something. I'm just gonna be upfront and set a boundary. I feel like fake it till you make it is setting a boundary where it's like, I'm not gonna fake, especially at work, where it's like, whether I know something or not, I'm not gonna get fired.
Right.
Because everything's trainable, everything's teachable. But because you're pissed off that I don't know something, and then you're not willing to take the time to teach me, you're mad. But it's like, I'm being honest with you. I feel like me being honest is better than me sitting there pretending, and then I think you'd be more pissed if you find out, well, it took her 3 weeks to do something that I thought she could do in a week.
Is it really like the John, what's that man's name? John something? The dude that played the Joker? Like, you can't handle the truth? Like,
you can't handle the truth.
Is that really like a real life thing? Like, even though somebody's telling you, hey, I don't know how to do that. Or, hey, I'm not going to take this anymore from you. Like, it's the truth.
Yeah.
I'm not doing this with you anymore. I'm not helping you anymore. No.
Yeah. I think
and it's also in your actions too, because I actually had to do that with my uncle. You keep asking me for money. Oh, you call me and I'll pay you back. No. Here's the money. I'm not calling you to ask for the money back, but don't call me anymore.
Yeah.
For money.
Yeah.
Like, that's my boundary. This is the last time I'm giving you something. This is it.
Yeah.
Don't call me anymore.
Like, you have to.
Like, you're 10 years older, or you're 9 years older than me.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's healthy. But I think the people that if you don't set boundaries with them, they're never going to grow. On their end of the coin. Because for me, I'm growing, hence that's why I'm setting the boundary. I'm no longer going to enable your behavior in relation to me. It's self-preservation. I'm trying to conserve my energy. I'm trying to conserve my peace of mind. A lot of the times it's just, personally, I don't have the capacity I have a husband and 3 children and work. and then parents.
know,
So I just don't have the capacity. I'm sorry, I can't care about your feelings. I just can't.
This comedian was, his set, this specific piece of his set was kind of along the lines of this subject matter. And at the beginning of his set, he said, when you have kids, you have 3 or 4 kids, say you have 4 kids, you, your wife, and your 4 kids, that's your family. But once your kids grow up, and all 4 of your kids, they have spouses, they have their own homes, and then they have their own kids, it's kind of like, that's your family now. You went and you made a family, so that's your family now. So if you want to sit at your house on a Thanksgiving with your family or on a Christmas, then that's your prerogative. But because I'm your parent, where me and your mom live. So if you want to come over here with your family, you're more than welcome to. But if you don't want to, then you don't have to. And, that's not really like a boundary thing. And then his set went on to a broader thing. I'm not going to go into that's 45 minutes. But, it's kind of along the same lines. It's like he kind of did it in reverse. He set the boundary for the kids. Like,
yeah.
You could come over here if you want. You have presents for the kids. I'm going to always have presents for the kids. As long as you tell me that you guys are coming, the grandkids are going to have presents. Yeah. But if you don't bring them over, then I'm not going to buy them anything. It's not like I don't love them, but they come over, I'm going to have something for them. If not, it's just not.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it's not a big deal. Like, I guess that's what he was trying to convey to his kids. It's not a big deal. Don't make it to where you're like, oh, well, I didn't see. We'll see each other later. And he was like, and we're so progressive these days that we don't really need to actually physically see you. I'll just FaceTime you.
Yeah.
And he was like, I'll see you, the kids, the wife. We'll kiss over the phone, and that's it. Like,
kiss over the phone?
Yeah, like... We'll see each other physically later. Like, we don't really have to do this every time. Like, and that's like a family boundary, I guess.
Right. Yeah. Well, I think, I think that's healthy boundaries too, because I think there are times where it's like a lot of the times, especially if it's not a milestone birthday with the kids, I'm just kind of like, okay, like, we'll just buy, what's your favorite thing to eat? We'll just buy your favorite meal, or I'll make your favorite meal for your birthday. Like, we're not spending no grandiose and doing a big party or whatever if it's not a milestone. And so sometimes, I'll get the question from my mom, like, well, aren't you going to do something? It's like, no, yeah, we're just going to be at the house. Well, I'm going to come over. And it's like, okay, well, I can't believe you're not doing anything. It's like, well, I mean, I'm with my family. Like, I don't, like, we're good. Like, we're good in that. Like, granted, we're all homebodies in this house. So it's like, we're good. Like, yeah, you can come over. Well, what are we going to do? Do you want me to get a cake? No, that they don't want cake, or they just want cookies, or they just want, you know what I mean? A pie. Like, it's just like, it's just the extraness. I think, I don't know if it's like we broke the mold with that, but it's like my family, my immediate household is enough for me. And I think a lot of the times our parents and even their parents don't understand that. It's like, no, you're supposed to celebrate with all of us. But it's like, or I could just celebrate with my family, because that's who I have. Like, I'm always like, this is who I have to sleep with every day. I have to sleep with, sleep in the same room with my husband, or sleep, in the same household with my kids. Like, so that's really the only happiness I care about. Like, unfortunately, a lot of the times that doesn't include my parents. I love my parents, and I check in on them when I don't see them, maybe every now and then, like after a week, like I'll call my mom or whatever, see what she's doing, or FaceTime her. But it's like, you're no longer, I think some parents have a hard time separating that you're no longer the priority in your child's life, because now your child is an adult who has their own family.
Yeah.
You know, and a lot of the times I don't know how, I mean, I could assume how she was treated, you know, my mom, but it's like, I think it's like it was always around my grandmother. You know what I mean? Everything revolved around her when it came to the holidays. And it's like, but I mean, it's great to have a set place to go and you know for sure, okay, that person's going to have Thanksgiving at their house. That person's going to have Christmas dinner at their house or Easter dinner at their house. But at the same time, it's like, if I don't want to go because I want to spend time with my family, and a lot of the times, you know, my uncles would do that. That's their prerogative. Like, how are you going to be butthurt when they want to spend time with their family?
Yeah, that's it.
like that's a boundary that you need to set.
I think is that synonymous with like generational curses too? Like the boundaries that weren't set that we have to set. Yeah. Because thinking of Thanksgiving, how people are like, yeah, we're having a Friendsgiving and we're having whatever else giving, like all girls giving, like there's all these different givings that I hear about, you know, all lesbian giving or all gay giving, there's all different kinds of givings that I've heard about. And it's kind of like people are now like, you know what, I don't really want to, I'm going to set this boundary from here on out. I'm not going to my family's Thanksgiving anymore.
Yeah.
I don't like my cousin, my uncle that be touching on all the little kids. Oh. I don't know why they didn't tell on this nigga yet, but I'm not wow. I'm not trying to be around him.
Aggressive example.
Yeah, I'm not trying to be around him, but
very real.
You know, the thief of the daggone family.
Very colorful, yeah.
Yeah, like you got all these people. You're just like, I don't really want to be around these people, and then lo and behold, forget the fact is if you're gay, man or female, well, did you find anybody yet?
Oh my God.
Did you find anybody? And
or trying to hook them up, like, oh, I know a nice boy for you, and the girl's a lesbian. It's like,
yeah, it's like,
yeah, it's not gonna work.
I don't like guys. Like, I don't like guys, and I've known Brian since we were 6. We will never. Yeah. But you still want me to like an arranged marriage.
Brian used to eat his boogers. You know what I mean? I'm not fucking with Brian.
Like, I have too many memories of Brian. I remember going in Brian's home and it smelled like pee. Like, Brian used to pee in the bed. Like, I'm not fucking with him.
You know what? I think choosing the family you choose and spending the holidays with the family you choose has been a very big thing. And I think, I just wonder, I mean, I know we can't go back, but I just wonder if our parents would have done, you know, went with the family that they chose versus the family that they were born into during the holidays, how many curses would have been broken. Because I think just like with me and my friends, like you still, when you're around family, you kind of regress back into certain roles, you know, of who you are, but maybe you don't necessarily want to be anymore. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like maybe you don't drink, but then it's like holidays come and you're around your family and you're like, woo, and you get freaking plastered and you're just like, fuck, and you're feeling like shitty for a whole week after freaking Thanksgiving because you went ham, but it's like, oh, your uncle was drinking and then you were taking shots with your grandma, and then, you know what I mean? Like you were throwing back some Jack with the cousin that you haven't seen in a while. You know what I mean? It's like all these things like come back up, and you regress back into these roles that, you know, or these traditional roles that you don't want to be in, and it's like it suppresses who you are. You know, it's a lot of suppression of self, and it's unhealthy.
Another thing I heard, which I've done in the past, it's like, you know what? It's okay to cut people off. If you set a boundary and they keep stepping over that boundary, if they keep crossing that line with you, and it's just like, bro, like I asked you that, or I told you this, or, you know, like,
yeah.
why do you keep doing this? So
Yeah.
if you just cut them, like, it's okay to cut people off. So, and that was like a hard thing to hear, but you kind of got to do that with people. Like, dang, like, I remember like the good times hanging out with this person, but
Yeah.
if this person keeps literally at this point disrespecting me, you just gotta
Yeah, like what? Like you might as well just cut ties.
just cut them off, because they're not gonna stop disrespecting you until you make them stop.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
if you feel a certain way about them, it's I mean, there's really
Yeah,
no.
I would say, I mean, you've helped me with that because you're like, this guy's like King Ghostwriter over here. like, like he will ghost somebody in a second. Like, oh, okay. He'll clock their disrespect and be like, I'm out. Delete number. Delete off Facebook.
Like
I don't fuck with you no more.
I won't say nothing to you.
Won't say nothing.
I'm not gonna disrespect you. I'm not gonna. Oh, you should have did this. No, I'm not gonna do any of that. It'll just be that one time. Hey, bro, like, stop doing that. And I don't know if I come off a little passive with it. Maybe I do now that I'm thinking about it. But I'm kind of trying to softball it to you, like, hey, don't do that no more, dude. Like, that's really crazy. Like, dude, like, you know. If you know me, you know how I'm speaking to you.
Yeah.
So if you don't get it, and then I stop talking to you, you shouldn't be surprised.
Yeah. I think the scariest thing is when someone gets mad but quietly.
Yeah.
Like, I think that's one of the scariest things.
I've seen one or two people do it.
Do you get mad quietly, too? Or do you just let people down easy on your boundaries?
I don't get mad. I'll sit there and breathe. But I do get quiet. I'll just let you do your thing. I'll just let you just run with whatever's happening, whatever disrespect you're saying, however loud you're getting. I'll just let you run with it.
Damn.
I'm not gonna respond to you. I'm not gonna do anything, because I've noticed people that do that, they actually want a reaction out of you, and if you just sit there and don't give them no reaction and literally look unbothered, that really pisses a person off to no end.
That's what I understand about people. It's like when you don't give them, when they're trying to provoke you in any way,
Yeah.
and you don't give them what they want, they are really just like how dare they not get mad when I'm mad, or how dare they don't scream when I'm not, when I'm screaming.
When you don't give somebody what they want, it's funny.
I was supposed to go toe to toe with you. Is that what you're saying?
No.
Like, no, I'll just let you get your aura all fucked up, and then
Like, you don't have one of my 7 or 8 Deion quotes. Deion Sanders. You don't have the remote control to my life. You're not gonna turn the volume up on me, or turn the volume down, or press the mute button, and press record or rewind or fast forward on me. You don't have the remote control to my life, so I'm gonna do what I want to do.
Okay, I haven't heard that. Shout out to Deion.
I was like, I had to rewind the whole thing. I was like, what this brother just
You
said?
don't have the remote control to my life.
You don't have the remote control to my life.
That is, y'all, remember that, please.
And he came up with that, I guess, because being a sports person, being a football player and a baseball player, he came up with that because it's like the crowd would say one thing for you to do, and he's just like, as a rookie, you would do it, but 2-3 years in, you're just like, you're not about to run me raggedy, so no.
That's a bar.
How about
You don't have the remote control to my life.
This is my brand new boundary.
Okay.
You don't have the remote control to my life. Okay? I'm gonna do me. Sorry. Sorry, not sorry.
Oh my God. Now, do you think with children it's different setting boundaries than adults?
What do you mean?
Like I like
With-
like in parenting, like is setting like I feel like setting boundaries is necessary. Like you have to off top. But with adults, it's like, do you always have to
I
do
think
it
with-
like kids or?
I think with adults, now that I'm recognizing this, we already have a way of living, and the kid has to conform to your way of living. So it's really not like a boundary. You just have to learn your parent, and
Yeah.
you can navigate your parent. I don't know if that's really a boundary.
Yeah.
'Cause,
No, I guess it's a lifestyle.
yeah, that's not really a boundary.
But sometimes you.
But you have to have boundaries with your kids' friends. You have to set boundaries with them.
We've had issues with that.
Don't come over here after a certain time.
Yo, my kid ain't coming outside, bro. Sorry.
It's kind of different with them when it comes to the phone, because they're not calling the house phone like how
yeah.
our age group, you had to call the house phone. We didn't have cell phones in 90 whatever 6. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
you had to call the house phone. So that's kind of a different boundary that you can't really regulate
I
if they
feel
have a
like-
cell phone. But
I mean, I feel like for the most part, like our kids kind of know us, but I mean, they do be trying to sneak in like little. Like I remember trying to tell Kenny to go to sleep, and he was like, "But my friend's awake," and I'm like, "And like I don't care that you're online talking to your friend. You have to go to sleep. Like I'm not her mama.
fuck that.
Like."
Fuck that
What does that have to
nigga.
do with me? like you're the one all in the like having a day in concert, like having this crazy ass conversation, and it's 11 o'clock at night. Go to sleep. You're waking me up. Okay, that's a problem. Like what the like. I hate when kids say that. Well, my friend doesn't have this, and my friend does this, and their parents. I don't care.
I applaud you. You're
That
talking
is great. That is the great rules and boundaries that parent has in their household. But that is not my household. So
talking to some little breezy. That's fine. But listen, if she doesn't wake up in the morning, but you do, you're my problem. She's not my problem.
for real, like
So
I could give 2 S's about that person being awake. like I don't care.
I need you awake and at school on
Right,
time.
because then I gotta deal with you dragging in the morning
Yeah.
and not waking up to your alarm, sleeping through your alarm. Okay,
Yeah.
is your friend gonna wake you up? Because I doubt it. I highly, highly doubt it.
No. They might call you after school. How come you weren't in school? Because I overslept. Because I was on the phone with your stupid
With
self.
your stupid ass.
Yeah. Up here messing with your tail.
Now, do you think? Now, I know that some people in parenting don't have a lot of boundaries or rules for their children, and just kind of let them run wild.
Oh, like soft parenting.
Gentle. It's called
Gentle parenting.
Gentle parenting.
I mean, I know
I
everybody.
always thought I was a gentle parent.
I know everybody understands what gentle means, but what the hell is gentle parenting? What is?
You know
what
what?
is?
Let's.
What is that? Is that
I
literally?
have my handy dandy phone here.
I mean, is that a real term? Like a real?
Yeah, okay. Well, gotta spell gentle, right? Yeah, like I've been seeing it a lot. Okay, it says gentle parenting is an evidence-based approach to raising happy, confident children. This parenting style is composed of 4 main elements: empathy, respect, understanding, and boundaries. Doesn't sound like it. And focuses on fostering the qualities you want in your child by being compassionate and enforcing consistent boundaries. Now, I feel like
You can do.
I do
you
gentle
can-
parenting.
You could do that. Okay, our thought. Well, my thought as to gentle parenting, as in terms of us, we've never spanked our kids, but
Yeah.
they're not bad kids. I was just thinking about.
And they're terrified of me.
I was just thinking about this the other day. I was just like, none of my kids know anything about gangs, which is a good thing. Like, you might see something on TV, but for the most part, they don't know.
Yeah.
They don't know where to go check on a Crip, or where to go check on the Blood, or where to go.
Where gangs reside.
Where gangs reside. They don't know any of that.
Yeah.
They understand what stealing is, but they have no need to do it.
Yeah.
There's no need to do any of this bad stuff because of how we are raising them. There's no need for it.
Yeah.
So.
I've never thought of what I do as gentle parenting, but I mean, I guess reading that, I would consider it gentle parenting, but at the same time, I don't mind, I don't mind grabbing an arm or doing a little thump. My mom used to do thumps with the kids, I don't know if y'all ever got thumped in the forehead, because this is like, your forehead has the least amount of skin and body.
All the bone.
All the bone. It's just all bone with a thin layer of skin. And she used to thump the kids in the forehead when they were. I remember Karen getting thumped a lot. When they would, and that was like, we never had to spank them. I don't think my parents had to spank them, but it was just thumping. I grabbed a couple ears, but that was when they were like. When the boys specifically were like between the ages of like maybe 2 and 5. But Corey, I mean, if she hit me first, then yeah, you're going to get a little hit back to let you know that was not funny. But other than that, I could probably count on my hands how many times.
I would pick them up and get in their face.
I remember that. Because of their arms.
Yeah.
In a locked position.
Yeah, I don't know. It worked for my kids. I don't know if it'll work for everybody's kids.
But it's funny because we haven't had to discipline them like that, but Cameron, with his big self, taller than me, he is terrified.
Neither one of the boys.
They are terrified. Because my one rule in the house, like my major rule in the house, I wouldn't say one rule, but is when I'm cooking, stay out of the kitchen. And you should see these, even my husband, they start to become spies. They turn into spies and try and have this covert operation to get some snacks out of the kitchen or to get water off the fridge and get something to drink.
But
it cracks me up every time. And I try not to break character because I'm trying to be like, what are you doing? Why are you in the kitchen?
And they'll come in there and like send me in there like, can you get me some water? Or I want a snack out of what snack do you want? The blue package. I want the blue package. And what did I go in there and get the other day? Oh, I got fruit snacks, some beef jerky.
Oh my God.
So I came out the kitchen where I felt like I was at the store. Like,
he was smuggling. He smuggles snacks for the kids.
I had all kind of snacks. I had 2 drinks. I don't even know where these drinks went.
I mean, no, and I know what's up because you'll come in and you'll be like, hey, babe, how are you? And you'll try and one arm hug me and kiss me, but then your other arm is like opening up the fridge, like behind me. And I'm just like, this fool is smuggling for these children.
Yeah.
Like, stop. Like, that is hilarious.
I go in there whistling.
Oh, that's the whistle. That's the whistle of, I'm trying not to get in trouble. I'm taking one from the team. Team Armstrong. Daddy's going down first when it comes to mommy.
Can I tell you something? I do that every time, and the first couple of times I did it, I was just like, okay, whatever. But then I was just like, I sat there one day, I was like, damn. I go in here and I'd be like whistling and da-da-da-da, like I'm not doing anything, and she knows what I'm doing. So what if every time I go into the daggone kitchen, I actually do that, and so she knows what I'm doing, and she'll just like not even pay me any attention because
like it's a code.
Because your level of ignoring me has gone up, and I was just like, That was the purpose.
Okay.
That's the purpose.
Yeah, yeah. Because I used to be on hawk status. Like,
Yeah.
I used to be like, what are you doing? What are you doing?
But
Like,
your level of ignoring what I'm doing because added to that, there's like this little wall separation from our kitchen to the hallway. You'll see a kid behind the wall, like like looking
even
like
spying. All you see is one little eyebrow.
you see maybe a ponytail if it's our little girl. You like.
Oh my god.
It's so funny. Like, oh
Yeah,
my God.
I can admit that. Yeah, I might, because I'm just in my head. I'm just like, I just roll my eyes and I'm just like, will you just hurry up? Like, just hurry up and get out of my way. Because it's happened so many times that I'm thankful that we have the kitchen that we have now. Because in our condo, it was so much smaller that it was just like you really couldn't have two people in there. So now it's like there's a little more space, so it's not as bad.
Yeah.
But
What are you
I don't know, man.
doing?
Kids are just you just gotta. I don't know. I think you can raise. You don't. I feel like first of all, there's too many labels on everything. Like gentle parenting, like just parenting. Like you should be empathetic. You should be compassionate, respectful. Like your kids are people. You know, they're just smaller people that are going to grow up into being adults, and how you treat them dictates what kind of adults they're going to be. So, you know, unless they have so much self-awareness and confidence that they, you know, regardless of how you treat them, they are who they are, which I can honestly say probably Kendrick is
the one thing
who he is.
The one thing I had to say to your dad, I forgot what subject matter we were on, but had to do with the kids. I was like, you know, Grandpa, I was like, the one thing me and your daughter do with the kids is we, recognize that they're actually human beings. And with a human being comes a person that has feelings. So we know that, and we address each kid accordingly and separately.
Yeah.
I don't know where that part of boundaries like disintegrated, you know, with our grandparents, because our grandparents, well, maybe not your grandparents, but my grandparents seem to have had to have 7 kids apiece. So if you combine my daggone mom and dad's side, there's like 14 kids. And then you look at the kids that these 14 kids had. Yeah. There's all of these daggone people.
Yeah.
But just within the 7 and the 7, they treated every kid the same way.
Yeah.
It was, no, you need to do this, or you need to do it, and the girls need to da-da-da-da, and the boys need to da-da-da-da, and everybody was placed into this box. And you know what? I don't even know if that's really a boundary. It's just or maybe it is a boundary. Like, you need to learn every child and how they are, and their strengths and their weaknesses, and just play to their strengths, I guess.
Yeah, individually.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, is that really inside the boundary conversation? Or is that...
Well, yeah, because I think you need to put... So I know how to approach each of our children, and I think, unfortunately, our parents and grandparents and so on, because I know my grandmother was one of like 9 or 10 or whatever. So it's like the less individual attention kids get, it's like they're in school all over again. It's like when there's 24 kids in a class and there's one teacher, kids aren't going to get the proper attention. But then again, it's school, so yeah, everybody's supposed to be falling in line and doing the same thing. But at home, it's like you have, in your mom's case, 7 different personalities. All of your mom and her siblings are different people with different personalities and different approaches to life. And maybe back then it was harder. I understand that. I totally don't fault, you know, your grandmother for not being able to give them the proper attention. I think over time, but that's the whole thing. Like, as things progress, as life generation progress, we need to have self-awareness to know that we need to treat these kids individually, because what Kendrick does and how he approaches a problem or a situation is not the same way. There are similarities, but it's not the same way Cameron does. And then Corey is just a whole nother. Ooh, she kind of broke the mold with how she is, but yeah, they're different.
I think it's a little bit different with us because we had Cameron and we were able to live with just Cameron for 4 years.
Yeah.
We know him through and through. He knows us because he's had us 4 years longer than his brother. And then here comes Kenny. But at this point, we already know how Cameron is. And so now we have Kenny, and now we have to figure him out.
Yeah.
You know, I think with us, our kids are spread out to the point where we had the opportunity to be with each one of them early. Yeah. And it's, you know. But when you look at somebody like my mom was born, and 11 months later, my uncle was born. Mm. So to have my grandma actually learn her daughter, she really didn't.
Yeah, she didn't have the time.
She didn't have the time. And then on the flip side, my dad, which is crazy because my dad has an old family. He's, out of the 7 kids, he's the 6th one, and he's 2 years older than my mom. He, like I said, was the 6th child.
Yeah.
So, does my grandma really, like, yeah, she knows him. That's her son. But did she really have time to, like, know her son?
Yeah.
Because, mind you, just like my mom and her brother, I have an auntie that's 1 year older than my dad. Same scenario.
Yeah.
But they're like 7 months. It's some kind of way. He was born in July. She was born in January. So however that worked, that's what, 16 months or something?
The math ain't math.
Something like that, because you have to add in the 9 months of birth. So however that works.
You guys do the math and let us know.
Yeah. She was born in January. Whatever. He was born in July the next year. However that works. I don't know. But, yeah. So, it's kind of like, yeah, my grandmother had a daughter in diapers, a son in diapers. And then here comes Rod 3 years later in diapers. Like, she didn't have time to learn any of these children beyond, oh, that's Cheryl, that's Kevin, that's Rod. Like, she didn't have no time.
Given that opportunity.
Yeah, so.
Damn. That's crazy.
Yeah.
That's crazy. Like, they're just individuals.
And did she really even, now that I'm thinking about it, did she even really get to learn my oldest aunt? Because my oldest aunt is only 20 years younger than my grandma on my dad's side. So, did she really learn my aunt? Because she was a damn child, technically, when she had her. So she probably was like, and was like running around town with this with this little girl. Like, did she really know Barbara? Like, what the hell?
Yeah. I know, you gotta, I mean, I think you just gotta, I think the key to parenting is just that, like, learning your kid.
Yeah.
No matter how many you have, learning your kid, like, hey, this is their personality type, this is their character type, you know, and what do they say? What's the saying? Okay, so like the saying is personality can change with what room you're in, but character is how you are behind closed doors. So with those two things, knowing those two things, you got to learn that about your kids. Like sometimes with their friends, their personality might change. They might be a totally different person. You know, especially they go to school, you don't know what's going on half the time. So you really don't know your kid. You don't know the at school version of any child unless you're a spy. You have spies on the inside, but But you just have to build their character so that way, even if their personality changes with whom they're with, the character that they had that's ingrained in them is still that like empathetic, respectable, compassionate person. So
it's crazy because my dad told me when I got older, he was just like, when you would come around the family, you would always, there was never any cussing. You would not let any words slip. It was always a respectable child, this, that, and the third. And he was like, well, one day, I don't know, I guess I came home early or something happened. He was like, I can't remember what my situation was. I just remember you were already home, but you were in the back of the building, because in the back of the building, it was how they constructed these apartments. You had the apartment, and then the back of the building was the parking lot, even though they had a parking lot in the front, and that's where he parked. Then they had the parking lot, and then beyond that, there was this grassy area, and then that's where they had the swing set and all that stuff.
yeah.
So I was over there, and on the swing set, and he said, you and your little friends was out there cursing up a storm. I was like, well, how old was he? Was like, you were like 9, 10 years old. And he was like, but it's crazy because there was no adults around. So it's kind of like, I wanted to say something, but then when I looked outside and looked around and I didn't see no adult, I was just like, just let them be kids. Because, like, they're saying all of this stuff. And it's like, you're talking like you're my age, but there's no disrespect happening.
Right.
Technically.
Right.
So I'm gonna just.
I find it funny when my dad heard me curse. I was on the phone and I was like in high school and I was on the phone and he heard me curse. They're like, that bitch is fucking stupid. And he was like, I didn't know you cursed. And I'm just thinking, man, what you be doing half the time? You be talking about people at work from your job. You be cursing up a storm. Like, where do you think I learned it from? Like, I knew how to turn it off. It's weird because you just know how to turn it off and on.
Yeah.
Like, whenever I was at my grandmother's house or at church, I wouldn't curse at all, ever.
You don't say any of that.
I don't even know what button that is that you press to be like, okay, we're in censor. There's a censorship somewhere.
Give me
just know.
Give me downtown on Broadway and 5th. I'm cussing you out.
Yeah, like it's just so funny because it's like our parents curse, but then so that way when I've caught the kids, I've heard them through their door plenty of times, and it's just like.
Yeah,
because I know that's how they're gonna be when they, it's like, how are you gonna prevent them from doing something now that they're gonna do when you're not around, for one, and then two, they're gonna do it in the next like 5-10 years when they're on their own.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like, you know what?
I heard Kenny tell his friend the other day, I had to run out of the room. He was like, see, you on that bullshit. I was like, what? I almost fell out in the hallway.
It's hilarious when they use it the right way.
Yeah, I almost fell out in the hallway. I was like, oh Lord, I need to get in my room and close the door. Because this fool...
and Kenny's savage already.
And it's crazy because, for one, they don't really know how loud they're talking because they have headphones on playing a video game. And something happened, and he was like, see, you're on that bullshit. I was like, oh my God.
Oh my gosh, that's hilarious.
This boy.
That's hilarious.
Oh my goodness.
That's hilarious.
I don't know. I don't necessarily have this problem because I'm in trucking, but with boundaries, do you have to do the same thing at work? Like,
I mean,
what is that?
Sorry. I don't know if you guys could hear that, but it sounded like a very large.
It sounded like 3-4 helicopters.
Very large, like the military helicopter that flies over and has people.
They
and
probably
can carry a whole, Winnebago.
They probably couldn't hear that, but that shit was shaking the house.
Yeah, it shook the house. We got a little shook up for a second. Sorry. I was like, is somebody landing in the backyard on top of the church back there?
I forgot what I was saying. Oh, do you have to do that? How is the boundary thing? I guess in the corporate world, let's say that, because I don't deal with the corporate. That's more your thing.
I feel like you have to set boundaries in a different way. I tend to use email as my boundary. Where like if I don't feel like dealing with a certain person, I will email them. I'm not calling. Oh yeah, call me when that gets done. No. Send an email and I'll cuz email will help my face. Well, no, you can't see me on phone too. But email helps me control how I sound, and it helps me portray a very politically correct answer. As many times as I delete and edit those emails, still I am going to portray a very professional demeanor. But what's going on behind the door on the other side of that computer is probably a lot of eye rolling and a lot of cursing. I can honestly say I probably curse at the computer screen a lot.
Oh my.
Yeah. So I think you do have to set boundaries, but I also think like as you know, when you're in a corporate world, I think you got to get your footing in the door first, and maybe like the first year or two, you know, kind of play it safe and don't really do a lot of pushback because you kind of, you know, there is that like probationary period. But I feel like once you pass probation, at least at my job, it's very hard to get rid of you, unless you like break like laws and but I think you just have to understand that, you know, people are adults and just set healthy boundaries of what you can and can't do, and just remind people. I mean, people don't have a problem saying that's not my job. I feel like that's a universal boundary that people set all the time. Is nope, that's not my job. That's not part of my job. And just say it. Like, it's not. Because, one, we all have job descriptions and duty statements. So, we'll find out real quick if it really is a part of your job. But at the same time, it's like that's there to protect you, because there are people that kind of want to push boundaries and have you do. I mean, I've heard stories of, never happened on my floor or, you know, within my team the section that I work in now, but I've heard stories of people like making their secretaries go get them coffee, and it's like, what? Where did you do that? We're not supposed to like I mean, as a secretary, when I was a secretary, you're not allowed to leave your job is within the walls of the building. So nothing about your job is outside the building. So getting you coffee, that includes leaving the building. You have to go outside, which means it's not part of your job. You can't even go to, as a secretary, you're not even supposed to go to court. Like they were sending, people were sending secretaries to court to get things and to file things in person. And it's like, no, we have a court runner for that. We have court messengers. That's not the secretary's job. Now, paralegal, I could do that. I could go file. Mm-hmm. I've filed stuff personally in person in court, but that is part of my duties to physically file things, you know, if need be. So it's like then it if you can't find a messenger, then, but me going to court and filing something should be either a last resort or like the only way to expedite a process. But you know, I mean, I would say I'd be real quick to be like, that's not my job. Because I don't know why people push boundaries like that at work though.
That's crazy. Truck drivers don't really have boundaries. It's either we're talking to you or we're not talking to you.
Yeah.
And there's a couple people I just do not talk to at work. It's not a boundary. I just don't fuck with you.
I don't fuck with you.
I'm not messing with you at all, so I'm not gonna even say one word to you.
Dang, I wish I could do that.
You know, because my job doesn't rely on you for me to talk to you and vice versa.
Oh, yeah. I guess that's the difference.
Yeah, because this is the truck that I'm dealing with. That's the truck that you're dealing with. All the product in my truck has nothing to do with you and vice versa. So that's the one thing I would say I like about my job. I don't have to deal with anybody but the manager.
Yeah.
I don't have to talk to nobody but the manager. It may be the person who's loading my truck. And
That's it.
the loader, you should see him. You be trying to stop him on the forklift. You can't.
Oh.
You can't get. You got to damn near stand in front of the forklift to get him to stop. He does not.
I don't know.
He don't talk to nobody neither.
I don't know why I thought you were gonna say something else. And I was just like, whoa. He barrels down the fucking running people over and stuff.
No. He's so tunnel vision, which is fine with me. He's so tunnel vision, but.
He stays in it. Like, so everybody stays in their lane.
Yeah, pretty much. Everybody stays. Oh. That's why I kind of like my industry, because they give everybody a specific job, and everybody does that job, and there's no deviation from it. Mm. If I'm the custodian, that's what I do. I don't clean up desks. I clean up trash cans. Oh. Well, can you do? That you better ask Brenda.
Brenda.
She's off. Oh, okay. Well, when she comes back, she'll deal with her own.
Brenda's off.
No, if that person is off, it will not get done.
Oh, damn. Yeah.
Because the custodians work from Tuesday through Saturday. So when we come in on Monday, the bathrooms are fucking tore up.
Ooh.
We know why. Because the custodians are not there. Nobody's going to clean it. Oh. It's kind of crazy, but nobody is going to do anybody else's job. And if the whole world was like that, instead of trying to step on everybody's toes, it probably would be
Probably be a healthier environment.
Yeah, because it's like...
Stay in your lane.
Like, no, that's his job. That's what you're paying him to do. Yeah. You're not paying me to do that.
Oh, yeah.
Like, people are always trying to...
And there's always that one person that's like, won't say no and will do it. And it's like, and wants to get a gold star for it. Mm-mm. No, bitch, you don't... like...
Because
no one cares.
Because the crazy part about it is, I don't have a flatbed. All the pallets are outside. If I really wanted to, I could jump on a forklift and put the shit on the flatbed myself, because I know how to drive a forklift. But you're not paying me to do that.
Do you want to? Oops, sorry.
Well, not necessarily, but the times that I have to wait for 30 minutes or 45 minutes, those be the times that I really want to do it myself. Yeah. Because it's like I could have had my truck loaded already, fucking waiting for you. That's the only part of it. But other than that,
staying in your lane. But then it's like, if I stay in my lane, the job's like gonna get done, and I know it could be done faster if I did this. So what do I do? But then that
goes back to the other conversation that we had as. If I knew how to do this job, then why do I need you? So that's kind of like a boundary
thing. And
you
probably, because then you'd be like overworked if you had to do your own forklift stuff. Yeah. So you'd burn out.
And I gotta strap it, and I gotta drive it to the destination, and I gotta de-strap it. Like,
Not Kevin motherfucking Armstrong. Shoot.
Better be it. My per hour better have a 4 in front of it. It better be a 4 T4 hour.
Wow, 4 T4.
$44 an hour, and you ain't gonna find that nowhere. Sir,
that'd be nice.
We're no longer gonna have you on hourly. You're gonna go on salary. No, sir.
No, sirree, Bob.
I like the hourly.
I've never gotten paid. Well, back in the day, I got paid hourly.
I mean, it's kind of interesting getting paid hourly, because I don't remember the last time I got paid hourly.
Right? Like, this sounds like a high school job. I know it's not, but...
What job did I have in 2015? Whatever that job was that security? Yeah.
Wait, weren't you at...
I was at the shipyard down. Yeah.
Yeah.
That was the last hourly thing I've ever had. So can you imagine going from 2016 till now?
And you're like,
And you're talking about hourly
what's
again?
this hourly halftime?
Yeah, like I don't know what this is. Like
The halftime, like the Super Bowl?
I've been driving the truck and getting a fucking check for taking this to here, and you run me a check right there. It's like,
Yeah, that's crazy.
you know what I'm saying? Like
I think I
don't
would lose my mind if I went back to hourly right now. I'd be like,
that wasn't necessarily hourly, but it was kind of like, once you complete this job, you get this money.
yeah, you
So
got
it's
paid
not
upon completion.
Yeah, so it's not like a hourly thing. It's like, hey, I got $1,200. Can you take this container or take this trailer to Phoenix?
Yeah.
Yeah, sure. You take the damn thing to
'Cause
Phoenix, and then
you guys used to bid on things like I could do it in this time, I could do it in, or I could do
Well,
it
no,
for this.
they'll have a set time already on the, what do you call it, on the load. They'll have a set time, and you just see if your availability fits within that time.
Oh, but you didn't
Yeah.
like bid or like undercut. Like if someone said I could do it for 1,200, and someone else would say I would do it for 1,000.
No,
Oh,
you never do
it's
that.
not that kind of job. Okay.
No. If anything, if it says 12, you'll ask them for 15.
Okay,
It's-
assertive.
Well, no. It's only to you would only do that, and then they'll meet you in the middle if they could. But what
So
that
it's like negotiation and wiggle room.
yeah, what that does is they put it at 12. You ask for 15, and say they give you 13.25. The next driver that comes and does the same load, he'll see 13.25 and ask for 16 and get 14.50. So say I come back and I see that same load and I'm like, oh, 14.50. Oh shit, let me get it. And you call and you ask for 14.50, or you see 14.50, but then you're like, hey, can I get it for 1,700? Well, we can't do 1,700. We can do it for 15. You're just like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
So we
So this is this.
so when we see something, it's not only to help yourself to ask for more money, you're helping the other driver to help you. You don't know this other driver, but the other driver knows the game.
I'm in the wrong business.
So you keep upping your price just a little bit, and you up it, and if the other driver does the same thing, but then you always have that one fucking idiot that will take it back down.
You know what?
I will do it for $1,000. Motherfucker, it's posted for 12.
Wow.
Why did you do that?
Yeah.
And so that's where the new line starts again.
Oh, so then it goes back.
Yeah.
You know what?
We try to get the line up here, and you have that one son of a bitch that moves the line backwards. It's like,
Okay, see, that's kind of like how.
why'd you do that?
That's kind of how things are with, not in the corporate world, but in the event industry. Like, you'll have a bunch of us charging, I feel like some things are industry standard because we all know how much our time is worth and, and labor and cost of goods. And so you'll have standards of like maybe like a balloon garland is like $500-600. And granted, people can do it for more. People can get $1,000, the quality, but they're also adding things to that service as the price goes up. But there are so many people that kind of kill it for, I would say there's 50% of us that are doing it correctly, and then the other 50% are doing it as a hobby and not trying to have a business, just like a side hustle. And it kind of undercuts the rest of us that are trying to, build a business and be professional. And then they're over here undercutting to, oh, I could do that for $150. Where, girl, when balloons cost $100? So
Yeah.
what are you getting, $5 an hour? Like for your labor and time? You ain't even getting minimum wage doing a balloon garland for $150.
It's
I'm
kind of
sorry.
like the people who get it. They know if and it's an inching game. You're inching up, and then
Yeah.
the other part of people are gonna be like, "Oh damn, we was sitting here charging 60. She just got a person to pay 80. Let's move our thing up to at least 75
Yeah, like let's
to
help
get
each
more
other.
to get more money." And then as she inches, you inch, and then you're always gonna have that one up here that's at 100. You're always gonna have that one that's at
Yeah.
100. So you're
Yeah.
trying to get to that person, but then when you get this person over here fucking it up, it also fucks it up for the lady that's 100.
Man,
So
I just realized that. I'm like, man, the event
So
industry
it's-
is like that, where it's like this
it's
is one
every-
person, just one guy, one lady.
it's every industry, and that's why corporate America wants you guys to come back to work. That's why they push for all of you guys to come back to the office, because it's easier to give a person a paycheck.
Yeah, and you just know
But when
there's no
people-
negotiating.
Yeah, but when you start to get into negotiating something, and that's what you guys have right now is negotiation power. They're trying to take that away by making you guys come back to work.
Yeah,
But as long as you guys stay home, you have the power to say and be a dictator to the dictator. But they're trying to take that dictation away from you.
we rhyming up in here, son.
That's the problem, and nobody wants to watch the news, I guess, for that specific type of information. You just hear a bunch of blah blah blah, and you don't sift out the shit that you need to hear.
Yeah,
And I think that's the problem with a lot of our country. You know, specifically California, because this is where we are. So let's just talk about that. That's just the problem with California and, you know, the state workers, I guess. We don't want to go back to work. Well, you have the power to say no.
yeah. Choose something different.
As much as you think you don't have the power to say no, you do. Because if 7 people say no, the state of California is going to be like, you're going back to work. But if 70,000 people say no,
Yeah,
what are they gonna say? They're gonna, oh shit, we have to pivot.
let's negotiate about.
Because there's 70,000 people saying no, and that's not just, you know. And if you literally, if California had all of San Diego, all of LA, especially LA,
Oof.
you don't even have to do anything else with the rest of the damn state.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's like,
man. Oof,
Yeah.
This is good. Boundaries.
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 Set your boundaries. You have to learn.
Like this, guys, in a box.
Yeah.
Be in a box. I mean, just, I wouldn't say in a box, just be in your lane, you know? And if people don't want to fuck with your lane, get in your lane, just,
Yeah.
all right, put your blinker on. Please proceed to the right and get off the freeway. Please exit the freeway immediately.
Just get in carpool and just
Yeah,
do
we're
your
in a
thing.
carpool lane.
Yeah, just get in carpool and move.
We're going in the same direction. Bam.
Yeah.
All right.
That was
Well,
a little tangent.
yeah, a little tangent, but thank you guys for listening.
Is it raining again? Golly, it's never sunny in sunny California.
Hell, right. Oh, hell, that's a lie. That song is a lie right
That's
now.
a
Liar. I don't know who sung that,
June, July, and
but you need
August
to throw that out right now.
is sunny. The rest of the damn time, no.
I swear, if the first day of spring it's 100 degrees, I'm gonna be mad. I'm like, really? We actually had a winter? Like this was an actual winter experience? Because I'm pissed. I don't like to be cold. I mean, I'll eat ice cream when I'm cold, but
All I know is the damn Slurpee machine at 7-Eleven better be. Damn Slurpee machine about to be. I'm about to have 2 big ass,
y'all had 3 months to get this shit together.
big cups. Y'all should have had all the Slurpee flavors.
All the flavors.
stacked up in the bag of 7-Eleven.
Now one of them better be with the little light on.
Ooh,
That's what she said.
especially the apple. Yeah.
All right, we've gone so far over our time, so we'll catch you guys in the next one, and
Oh, we out.
we out.